Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So I am back home, but a little bit late. So I'm not doing my normal stream. But breaking news, I want to talk about this. Tesla just sold about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Or at least it was revealed that they have sold close to $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. What is going on? I thought Tesla and Elon were Bitcoin bulls. So let me talk about this story that is still breaking and people are still analyzing it. So first of all, flipping the screen here, you can see Bitcoin's at 23.3. So obviously a little bit lower this morning. This morning it shattered 24. Looked like it wanted to go up, but right now it has retraced a little bit, just to keep you guys updated. Bitcoin was at this same level yesterday, so definitely has not retraced, has not gone below. In fact, since I have been away from my personal computer for so long, when I loaded up the chart, when I left for vacation, Bitcoin was at 19.7, and now that I'm back, we're at 23.3, so that's not too shabby. So yes, it did come down a little bit, but overall still holding strong, and more importantly, holding above this 22.8 mark, which has now turned support. So that's really positive. Now, what about Elon and Tesla? Well, Tesla revealed their Q2 numbers, okay? And it's not bad. Tesla's revenue grew about 42%, which of course is very, very good despite what's going on, right, with the economy and so forth. But their margins have shrunk a little bit. Margins went down to 27.9% from 32.9, which is still spectacular. A lot of automotive makers would love, or not only love, dreams of margins like this. So even though this came down overall, this was not as bad as people thought, okay? So overall, Tesla seemed like, they hit it out of the ballpark once again. Their shares are going up in an aftermarket, but it was revealed that in Q2, in order to raise cash, Tesla sold about 75% of their Bitcoin holdings, which is unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. So how much did they sell? They sold 936 million of Bitcoin, 75% of their holdings, for average price of 29,000. Now, the reason why Elon said he did this was because he wanted to generate more cash flow. He was afraid that the overall liquidity was not enough. He was trying to boost it, right? Given COVID shutdown in China and other things that have, taken place over the last few months, or I should say the first half of this year. He also says it should not be taken as some kind of verdict on Bitcoin. And he goes on and says that he may end up buying more Bitcoin in the future, right? So Elon is basically saying that, I'm not trying to day trade Bitcoin. It's not like I'm scared of Bitcoin. He's just doing so because he wants cash on the side, right? He's afraid that the economy might get worse. That's why he did it, right? But you know what? Interesting thing is, MeetKevin, Kevin Pathroth, I think that's how you say his last name. I may have butchered that. But anyways, Kevin broke this down saying, well, you know what? That sale of Bitcoin, 922 million cash, right? Offset basically their cash flow, okay? Because if they didn't have that, they would be negative, okay? So their reported cash flow was 847 million. So they utilized the 922 million from the sale of Bitcoin, right? And that's how they got that number. But if you do the math, if they did not sell the Bitcoin, this would be negative. So Kevin is saying that Elon did this not just to boost cash, because they were negative cash flow. So it would have been reported on their statement that they were negative in cash flow. They were burning too much cash, right? So maybe this was done to dress up their earnings. But also, if you think about it, if Elon knew that they were negative cash flow and they needed liquidity, well, then selling Bitcoin makes a whole lot of sense, right? But didn't mean that he needed to sell this much, or did he? Right? So there is some controversy coming out of this. Obviously, Elon is looking out for Tesla, right? Making sure that its earnings look good. They have enough cash on the side. They're still producing their margins, everything that goes with that. But there is some controversy whether or not this was done just to dress things up and whether or not he truly believes in Bitcoin, right? So will he buy back in the future? He still has not, Elon still has not opened up Tesla buying with Bitcoin. He said he would. It's been a few years now, right? And that still not has happened. So what's really going on? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But here's the good thing, though. Here's the good thing. He sold close to $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Think about that. $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. And we are still where we are right now, right? He did sell at 29,000. So we know that we fell down from 29,000, right? That's the next resistance that Bitcoin needs to break. We fell down from there really, really quickly. We all thought maybe it's just from ITrustCapital, also Celsius FUD, Voyager FUD, all that, right? Caused a lot of panic selling. Now we know that it's not just those things. Also, $1 billion worth of Bitcoin being sold by Tesla, right? So it definitely contributed to the sell pressure during that point. But again, with all that, yes, Bitcoin dipped down to 17,000, but now it's back above 23,000, still heading up in recovery mode. Shows you how strong Bitcoin is. All right. Lastly, let me show you something. Michael Saylor did some math for people in case this was too difficult. He did some math. If you sell 75% of your Bitcoin, you will only have 25% of Bitcoin left. I think that math is correct, right? I think that adds up, and that makes a whole lot of sense. So if you sell 75% of your Bitcoin, you only have 25% left. Yeah, that's exactly right. But, even with that large sell, right, the $1 billion worth of Bitcoin being sold, we still have others that's buying. So regardless of Tesla, Elon are selling, you still have $10 billion of the Bitcoin leaving exchanges, right? And that is majority from the people that believe, the holders, the long-term holders, and from people that are starting to believe, coming into the space, right? So it's long-term holders, new holders, also the miners, and there are still many others, the whales, they're all buying the dip, right? So regardless if Tesla buys back in, right? He says he may, but you know what? We got many, many others that are buying right now. So we don't really need Elon. We don't really need Tesla. Although, if they do start buying again, it'll help, but we don't really need them. We don't really need them. All right, so that is it. I'm going to keep it nice and short. Bitcoin is at 23.3. We'll see where it goes tomorrow. Right now, as retrace a little bit, like I said, that's okay. We're way better off right now than a week ago, right? Maybe because I went on vacation. Maybe every vacation I'll take will cause Bitcoin to go skyrocketing. Maybe, but we'll see, all right? I'll have my usual stream tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, so make sure you tune in, all right? Have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.